Coming up on Carolina News. Tragedy struck Boulder last night. We'll have the latest on the investigation of the subject.
He went in the store.
A hit and run in 5 Points has left locals looking for the driver.
Didn't treat the person they struck as a fellow human being. Didn't call EMS.
And how locals are taking a city project into their own hands.
That's a nice project, but it's not speaking to the moment.
All that and more on Carolina News.
From the University of South Carolina, your news, your sports, your weather. Carolina News begins now.
Hello and welcome to Carolina News. I'm Megan Carter.
Good afternoon. Thanks for joining us. I'm Lawrence Thompson.
A mass shooting left 10 people dead in Boulder, Colorado grocery store.
That's right, and police named a suspect in the shooting earlier today and searched his home.
One police officer died in the shooting, and officials are sharing more about the other 9 people that were killed.
Madeline Stewart is live in the newsroom with more on the subject and victims. Madeline?
Thanks. An investigation is still underway, but Boulder police have identified the suspect as 21-year-old Ahmad Alyssa. During a search of his home, police found weapons like an AR-15 style pistol. Officials say that Alyssa was taken into custody and brought to the hospital after being shot in the leg by police. Police also identified the 10 victims in the shooting. One of those victims, Officer Eric Talley, lost his life in Monday's attack while responding to the shooting. The other 9 victims range from 20 to 65 years old.
Not only did we lose 10 lives, but this is real horror and terror for all of us. The simple act of shopping in a grocery store.
This attack comes less than a week after 8 people were killed in an Atlanta area spas, and police have not yet identified a motive for the Boulder shooting, but they say they have spoken to Alyssa. He was transferred to jail this afternoon and is facing 10 counts of first-degree murder. President Biden has ordered all flags to be flown at half-staff. Live from the newsroom, I'm Madeline Stewart, Carolina News.
Thanks, Madeline. Sumter police are looking for 2 men whose gun exchange led to a shooting. Octavius Jonathan Brock and Dwayne Sell McKenzie are both being charged with 2 counts of attempted murder, 2 counts of armed robbery, and 2 counts of kidnapping. Brocker's brother has been arrested, charged with all accounts. Officers say the deal turned a robbery and then shooting occurred. If you have any information, call the Sumter Police Department. A cash reward may be available.
Police are searching for the driver of a hit-and-run case that happened in 5 Points over the weekend. The pedestrian was unlawfully crossing the road and tripped over a raised median. The crash happened just before 2 a.m. Saturday on Hardin Street, right around the time the bars were starting to close.
Didn't treat the person they struck as a fellow human being. Didn't call EMS, anybody. Didn't call anybody to render aid, know what happened. Struck an individual and left him on the side of the road.
The police are looking for a black Dodge Charger with tinted windows, black wheels, and blue headlights. Deputies say that the vehicle most likely has front-end damage. Local officers also need your help finding 3 suspects wanted for 20 car break-ins at USC's Greek Village. Officials say that they caught 2 men on camera pulling on handles and removing items from cars. They also say a woman used a stolen credit card from one of those cars. Officials believe they were driving a 2004 to 2008 white Ford F-150 pickup truck. There is a cash reward of up to $1,000 for any tips that lead to an arrest.
Spring has arrived this past weekend, and warm weather came along with it. Let's head over to the greenhouse garden to check with Caitlin Smith. Caitlin?
Thanks, guys. It feels so great outside today, as you can see and as you can feel. I don't know about you guys, but we are starting to see those warmer temperatures that we have not seen in the past previous weeks. But hold on tight, because there is rain in the forecast later throughout this week because of a cold front coming in on Friday. But I have more for you later in the show with our forecast. Now back to you guys in the studio.
A group of Republican state senators are trying to strengthen gun rights within the state. The unorganized militia law says that able-bodied South Carolina residents over the age of 17 are part of the state's militia. Senator Tom Corbin of Greenville is filing a bill that clarifies what weapons this unorganized militia can carry. These measures are being added to ensure the federal government cannot disarm South Carolina citizens.
The Army is making their combat fitness tests more gender, age, and age neutral. It has ended the requirement that soldiers do at least one leg tuck, where they hang from a bar and pull their knees up to their shoulders. They now have the option to do the plank to demonstrate their core strength. It's one of the few changes they've made to the test, adding tier systems to organize fitness scores for the promotion or for job selection. The Army says these changes aim to bring about equality without disadvantage.
The governor visited vaccination sites earlier today to raise the spirits of South Carolinians and answer questions about reopening.
That's right, Megan. Our Tori Sloan went out for the Vista to see what he had to say.
Employees in the restaurant and hospitality industry have been getting their vaccine here today. Around 400 doses of the Pfizer vaccine have been given out at this site today. And with help from volunteers, this industry is finally getting some relief.
This really marks a day that we see light at the end of the tunnel, and we're just really excited about being here today.
Governor Henry McMaster visited and toured the vaccination site today and spoke with Dr. Lovelace from the Lovelace Family Practice about the vaccination process. The Pfizer vaccine is being administered at the site today, and Governor McMaster is hopeful for the changes that come with the increase in vaccinations.
We didn't close down, we just slowed down, and as a result, we are going to be able to launch back as we're doing now, following the plan of Accelerate SC, and get our people all back to work and safe.
As the number of vaccinations go up, the director of the South Carolina Department of Parks, Recreation, and Tourism hopes for tourism in the state to return to normal.
We'd love to welcome visitors now, and South Carolina is open. We're ready for them to come back. We think it's, you're seeing it more and more, and people traveling today, and more people out. There's more traffic, there's more retail, there's more people in hotels, more people in restaurants, and people are getting accustomed to it as I mentioned, cases go down, vaccinations go up, and the weather gets warmer. We'd love to have you in South Carolina.
Hospitality workers also have a chance to come here on Friday. They will be giving out an additional 400 to 500 more vaccines, and the second dose will be given out the week of April 16th. Live from the Columbia Metropolitan Convention Center, Tori Sloan, back to you in the studio.
With more residents being vaccinated, Columbia City Council narrowly approved a controversial large gathering last week.
That event, the Gervais Street Bridge Dinner, is now set for May 2nd. Our Forrest Tucker has more on how the city plans to move forward with large gatherings this spring.
Once every year, the Gervais Street Bridge becomes Columbia's largest dining room. And after City Council's 4-3 approval, the Gervais Street Bridge Dinner will be served in May. But some members, including Councilman at Large Howard Duvall, think that now is not the time to allow large events.
I think that there are two events on our resolutions here that are too large and too soon for us to allow them to occur. The Gervais Street Bridge Dinner is one of them.
While Duvall voted no, District 4 Councilman Daniel Rickman approved of the event.
And I think the production crew that's putting it on and the caterer have really thought about how to spread it out and be safely.
Before the pandemic, the event looked like this. But now, organizers will require masks, have temperature checks at the door, and socially distanced tables. The dinner's communications representative, Neil Boone, is envisioning success.
I hope that we're going forward. Everybody looks at our event and sees the precautions, the optimism that we had about going into this event and successfully pulling it off.
The dinner's capacity has also changed. It used to be 1,400, but now only 1,000 tickets will be sold. During their last meeting, City Council approved 5 other events. Rickman sees them as a starting point to getting back to normal.
It's a good cross-section of different events to allow us to gauge and improve on as we continue to move forward.
Rickman said that he does not know how many events City Council will have to debate on moving forward. The dinner will be Columbia's first large gathering since the pandemic began. For Carolina News, I'm Forrest Tucker.
Tickets for the dinner will be on sale in the coming weeks.
I mean, it sounds pretty fun. Depending on what's on the menu, I might have to get a ticket.
I'm down for that. If they have some chicken tenders, that'd be great for me. For 9 months, one group in Rosewood has been organized to get Black Lives Matter mural painted in the area. But that's not the only project planned for the city. When we come back, we'll tell you about the 5 paintings aimed to send a message to Columbia.